10 years didn't disappear. You did. Somewhere between your first job, your first rent payment, and your 15th password reset, life stopped feeling like a journey and started feeling like a blur. You blink and it's December. You blink again and somehow a decade is gone. As a kid, summer felt endless. Waiting for your birthday felt like serving a sentence. Now birthdays show up like aggressive subscription renewals you forgot to cancel. Monday turns into Friday, Friday turns into Monday, and entire seasons collapse into a single memory of sometime last year. This isn't just nostalgia. It isn't just getting older. Your brain is literally experiencing time differently. The way you perceive time at 35 is not the way you perceived it at 15. And if you live in the US, the UK, or Canada, where routines are optimized, schedules are packed, and efficiency is treated like a virtue, you are living in the perfect environment for time to accelerate. Here's what's really happening. Inside your brain, there isn't a ticking clock like the one hanging in your kitchen. There's a network, deep structures that process emotion, attention, and memory that creates your sense of time. Chemicals tied to motivation and reward help stamp moments as important. When you're young, those signals fire more intensely and more frequently. Everything feels new. Everything feels significant. First heartbreak, first road trip, first taste of freedom. Your brain is tagging every second in bold ink. But as you move through your late 20s and into your 30s and 40s, that chemical intensity gradually declines. Life shifts from high definition to something closer to standard definition. The days are still 24 hours, the calendar hasn't changed, but fewer moments are being deeply recorded. And when you look back, time feels compressed because your brain captured fewer meaningful snapshots. Think about your commute this morning. Can you remember it in detail? The exact turns, the sounds, the faces at traffic lights? Probably not. Your brain deleted it. It categorized the experience as routine and therefore unworthy of storage. Efficiency is the goal. Repetition is automated, and automation erases time. There's another psychological force at work called the fraction effect. When you're 10 years old, 1 year represents 10% of your entire life. That's enormous. It's a massive slice of your existence. But at 50, 1 year is just 2%. Your brain is constantly, subconsciously, comparing the present to the totality of your past, so each additional year feels smaller relative to the whole. Imagine adding a page to a 10-page booklet versus adding a page to a 1,000-page novel. The same page, completely different impact. That's what's happening inside your mind. Each new year becomes a thinner and thinner fraction of your lived experience, and without realizing it, your internal scale of time shrinks. Now, layer on top of that the memory effect. Your brain doesn't measure time in minutes, it measures time in memories. When you look back at a week packed with new experiences, travel, difficult conversations, unexpected challenges, it feels long, dense, full. But a week spent repeating the same routine, same office, same meetings, same takeout order, feels like it barely existed. This is why childhood felt expansive. Kids are tourists in their own lives. Everything is new. Every teacher is new. Every friend is a discovery. Even boredom is intense because they haven't yet built the mental filters to tune it out. Their brains are forming connections at a staggering rate. They're living at a higher perceptual frame rate, noticing details adults automatically ignore. By contrast, your adult brain is optimized for pattern recognition. It sees repetition and compresses it. Tuesday looks like last Tuesday, so it merges them. The brain loves efficiency. In a world that rewards productivity, from Wall Street to the City of London to Toronto's financial district, that efficiency is praised. But here's the cost. The better you get at running your life, the faster it disappears. There's also a biological rhythm component. Your body runs on internal clocks, circadian rhythms that regulate energy, temperature, hormone release. When you're younger, those rhythms are more pronounced. Energy spikes are higher, emotional swings are sharper. As you age, those waves flatten. Life becomes smoother, more regulated. That sounds positive, and in many ways it is, but intensity is what stretches time. Calm predictability compresses it. Then there's focus. Modern life has fractured it. Every notification, every email, every glance at your phone creates a micro interruption. And during those switches, your brain doesn't properly encode experience. It's like trying to record a movie while constantly pausing and buffering. You think you're filling your day, but you're actually punching holes in it. 20 quick phone checks an hour equals 20 tiny gaps where awareness drops. Over weeks, months, years, those gaps accumulate into the feeling that time has evaporated. There's a reason your most vivid memories cluster between 15 and 25. Neurologists call it the reminiscence bump. During those years, your identity is forming. Emotions run hot. Everything matters. The music you loved then still hits differently because it was wired into your developing brain. You were biologically primed to encode memories deeply. After 30, that intensity naturally declines. Not because life is over, but because your brain is no longer in construction mode. And here's the hard truth. If you do nothing, the next 10 years will feel even faster than the last 10. But this isn't a death sentence. It's a design flaw you can work with. The antidote to time compression is novelty and attention. When you travel somewhere unfamiliar, even a city 2 hours away, the first day feels long. Why? Because your brain can't predict what's next. It's forced out of autopilot. It records everything: street signs, accents, smells, awkward interactions. That density of memory stretches time in retrospect. You don't need a passport to access this effect. You need disruption. Take a different route home. Rearrange your workspace. Start learning something that makes you uncomfortable. Spanish, coding, guitar, boxing. Struggle is powerful. When you're bad at something, your brain pays attention. It lays down new neural pathways. It stamps moments in bold again. Even small shifts matter. Eat somewhere you've never tried. Have a real conversation instead of scrolling through curated highlight reels. Put your phone in another room for an hour. Notice how much longer that hour feels when it isn't fragmented. Exercise and meditation change time perception too. Physical activity stimulates new brain growth and sharpens attention. Meditation trains your mind to stay present instead of drifting into mental autopilot. Presence is the opposite of time acceleration. When you are fully engaged, seconds expand. And perhaps most importantly, stop worshiping efficiency in every corner of your life. In North American and British culture, we are trained to optimize everything: our careers, our productivity apps, our morning routines. But pure efficiency strips texture from experience. Inefficiency, wandering, experimenting, even getting lost, creates memory. And memory creates the feeling of a long, rich life. You cannot slow the clock on the wall, but you can slow the clock in your mind. Because here's the final realization. Time doesn't feel short because life is short. It feels short because you stopped noticing it. You traded awareness for routine. You traded novelty for comfort. You traded depth for speed. The next 10 years will pass no matter what. The only question is whether you'll remember them. So this week, break one pattern. Do one uncomfortable thing. Pay attention on purpose. Don't let another year collapse into a blur of emails, commutes, and algorithm-fed distractions. And if this message hit you, if you felt that quiet panic of wondering where the time went, then don't just scroll past it. Share your thoughts below. Tell me the moment in your life that still feels vivid and alive. Subscribe if you want more conversations that challenge the way you see your world. Because the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to feel like you actually lived.